Issues in our current world are often ranked in importance based on their apparentness in our daily lives. When brutality can be seen in school districts and violence is seen on the streets, people act out with peaceful protests. However, when issues are less visible in one's daily routine, it is often forgotten or thought about less. Out of sight, out of mind. Invisible issues such as global warming are still important and worthy of support and awareness. This is also true of homelessness. Though it may not always be obvious in the community, it is worthy of acknowledging and taking action. Those who are unfamiliar with the consequences of homelessness are less likely to take action than those with personal experience. According to the National Alliance to End Homelessness, in 2018, there were approximately 3,000 reported individuals experiencing homelessness. Around 2,500 had access to shelter, leaving almost 500 without. This is an incredible decrease in numbers from statistics in 2005, when almost 21,000 people reported being homeless, and 14,000 were unable to access shelter. Finding ways to lower these numbers was not an easy task. Most of the time, individuals seeking assistance found it through volunteer programs. Assistance programs are one of the most popular forms of helping people in need. Many of these assistance programs are led and run by volunteers because of their limited funding. Because these programs rely on donations and charity from the community, they are not often found in rural areas. Urban settings have a much easier time supporting groups like these and help to extend their longevity. Individuals experiencing homelessness in a rural area are not often able to support themselves or find the aid they require and end up moving to urban cities. There, assistance programs provide them with a quick fix to get back on their feet. Volunteers will help individuals find jobs and new places to live. An example of one of these programs is Abundant Life Ministries located in Vinton, Iowa. Abundant Life Ministries once reported to the Des Moines Register working with a woman named Katie Bennett. Katie was a 34-year-old who was recently released from jail and had nowhere to live. Facing the reality of her new homeless lifestyle, she was forced to make difficult decisions. In a small rural setting, people facing homelessness are not often able to reach out to assistance programs and must rely on the generosity of their friends and family. This is exactly what Katie did, at least for a while, and then she realized that in order to free herself from her criminal record and ultimately homelessness, she must move to a place with more opportunities. Katie then moved to Iowa City and was able to apply for and work at a new job. This led to her renting her first apartment. As soon as Katie was able to get herself back on her feet, she failed to appear in court for a hearing and was taken back to jail. Katie's story makes homelessness's endless circle understandable and relatable for many. Testimonials such as hers help actualize statistics and to humanize issues seen on the news.
People who are experienced with the effects of homelessness understand the hardships one must endure. Many people find that the most effective way to solve a problem is to get involved. Throughout Iowa, there are many communities that have local assistance programs to help people of all kinds with their needs. Whether one chooses to volunteer at a food bank or find prospective living spaces, there are always things to do. The National Alliance to End Homelessness, endhomelessness.org, and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development have websites that offer many resources for finding help and making help available for others. There are links available leading to financial advice, legal assistance, and help hotlines. All of these resources are good for people to know about. Preventative measures can also help to lower the number of people facing homelessness in Iowa. Being smart with one's money helps to avoid falling into debt or attaining low credit scores. When dealing with money, it is more important to be diligent than hasty with one's actions. Having a monthly and yearly budget planned out will help avoid any unnecessary spending and make saving goals more attainable. Planning for a rainy day and having sufficient funds set aside will also give a financial buffer for difficult setbacks. Almost all people will experience a rough patch in their life, and it is better to be prepared than 2 steps behind. The consequences of ill planning can heavily impact the rest of one's life, but ample forethought can make all the difference.
A homelessness scare is not an issue the average Iowan has to face on a daily basis. However, there are people who wake up wondering if they will have enough money to cover the month's rent or buy a meal for the day. Though the homeless population may be obscure, it still exists and must be addressed in our community. If one is faced with this issue, there are many resources of which to be aware and take advantage. Know and be comfortable with planning out a budget that saves more than it spends, and use it. Homelessness is an elusive issue that could be easily overlooked. However, individuals aware of the hardships that homelessness bears on one's life take action and get involved. Choosing to respond to the issues will help serve others and ultimately lead to the betterment of the world as a whole.